Unsane is directed by Steven Soderbergh and it stars Claire Foy as a woman with a very mysterious but very dark past. And once she goes to a psychologist for a simple 1-hour session, she inadvertently and against her will is held in a mental institution where things start to go awry for her in all sorts of ways. I was extremely excited for this film because it's a Steven Soderbergh film and because it seems to have a gimmick where it is all shot on an iPhone. I will tell you, that is a gimmick in a sense for this film, but it actually lends itself to the narrative. I told you the basic plot of this film. I told you what the first trailer tells you, and to my knowledge the only trailer that is out there tells you, because there is a bit more to this film. And just like any Steven Soderbergh film, it's extremely pleasurable to see that he still has his art house style of filming, but with a plot that is familiar. I won't say generic, but nor will I say that you had never seen this plot before. You have, but Soderbergh goes in many different directions that I was not expecting, and they kept this film flowing very well, and they kept me intrigued, because at some points of the narrative you feel like it's going to stop, because you get certain reveals and certain pieces of information that will just let this movie go on very familiar and generic directions, but it really doesn't. Soderbergh shoots the crap out of this film with an iPhone. If you don't understand anything about cameras or filmmaking in terms of shooting, it's extremely well executed. He did the most he could with it, and the movie is not held back because of that. For the most part, Claire Foy gives an amazing performance. It's not like I have never seen her give an amazing performance, because she is incredible in The Crown. It's not like this performance is better than her performance in The Crown, but I like to see her play a very different type of role. She has a lot of nuances in this film that I was extremely happy to see that she does have them, and I can't wait for her, now that she's going to go out of The Crown, to be in more films as the main star. And I like that the film never made her a victim. I cannot tell you why, because spoilers, but it is another one of the different directions that Soderbergh goes with in this film that kept it from being very familiar, or too familiar in this case, or generic. Pharoah also surprised me. He is really good in this film, also very nuanced, and he brought a lot of good sense of humor to this film. Not exactly humor, but a good sense of humor, because the film has some laughs throughout because of certain situations that some characters find themselves in. And because of that, and the relationship he creates with Claire Foy, it is extremely, again, well executed. There's one actor that shows up in this film for a total of like 1 minute. You won't see much of him, but I was extremely entertained that this one actor played this very small role, because he is clearly familiar with Steven Soderbergh, and he seems to be making a career lately of doing great cameos in films. It's a cameo completely different than the last one you've seen from him, but it's still really well done. The film is intense and gripping throughout. This is not a horror film, this is a psychological thriller, and at points it seems like it's dragging out towards the end. Once we get to a certain point in the film where Claire Foy gets out of a certain blue room, that's all I'll say, the film seems to just be dragging a bit. But then when we get to the ending, I like where the movie leaves off very much. And from beginning to end, the film has this sense, because of the iPhone shooting style, that we are seeing Claire Foy and all the events unfolding in this film through a hole in the wall. It seems like we are watching her, like we are voyeurs to her life, and I thought that landed really well with the story that Soderbergh tells in this film. Because this film is shot on an iPhone, the cinematography and the lighting especially can suffer a little bit. I was taken out of the film quite a few times, because if you shoot this on an iPhone, you cannot avoid the fact that the filters will never not be filters in the eyes of someone that, in my case, studies film and understands shooting and editing. I talked about it recently in my All the Money in the World review, that in the magic of cinema, you can put a filter over a camera but make it look real, look natural. and in this case it didn't really look all that natural, at many points very egregiously so. That's my major gripe with this film, but it's one that cannot be avoided or that I could not notice. This is not the deepest psychological analysis of a character that you'll ever see. It's not the deepest movie I've ever seen, not even close, but it's intense, it's gripping, it's extremely entertaining with really good performances, and Soderbergh keeps recreating himself and how he can do film because he's already a very unique director, and I like that he does this type of stuff that nobody else is really doing. And so because of that, I will say that Unsane is a damn good martini. It is a good time anytime. What did you think of Unsane, my beautiful geekies? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what is your favorite Soderbergh film, because I think I asked you in Logan Lucky, but I can't remember the answers, and the dude has done incredible films in the past, so let me know in the comments. Tonight I will also have a review for Isle of Dogs, and tomorrow A Wrinkle in Time. Can't wait to see you there, and so until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!